Hello, and welcome to Relatable Bitches Podcast. I'm your host, Hina.
And I'm your host, Marge. We're so excited to have you here with us today.
This is the space where we will dive into all the messy, beautiful, and totally relatable aspects of life. From family and friends to career struggles and everything in between. We're here to keep it real and have some fun.
That's right. Our goal is to create a community where we can laugh, cry, and feel understood. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's get into today's episode.
The Relatable Bitches podcast is for entertainment and informational purpose only. It may contain mature themes and sensitive topics. The views expressed do not constitute professional advice and should not replace expert consultation. Personal stories shared are unique to individuals and not universally applicable. The hosts, producers, and associated parties are not liable for any consequences resulting from the use of this content. While we strive for accuracy, we cannot guarantee all information is current or error-free. By listening, you acknowledge and agree to these terms. Welcome to today's episode, Navigating Cross-Cultural Relationships. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello. Ooh, this is a good one. I like this one a lot because I think it really touches base on both of our lives.
Yeah.
Dramatically and fun-wise, whatever. I don't know what's the word to say. Yeah.
What I like about this topic is the fact that now there are so many people getting into relationships because the internet.
Yes.
You can meet anyone from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, correct. And learn about them and see what they're doing and all that stuff.
Exactly. So that to me is just pretty cool.
I think so too as well, honestly. I think so too.
Yeah, where there's a lot more acceptance now when it comes to cross-cultural relationships and understanding different people's cultures.
Yeah.
And wanting to actually be part of it and learn.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone other days where we accept racism and you have to marry your own kind. You have to, someone from your religion, your skin color, your, whatever it may be.
Correct. And I think even now, because of, again, social media has negative and positive things, but even social media sharing the different cuisines, sharing the different highlights of people's culture, it's putting it in a better light. Not just, you guys eat that or that's all you do. No, there's so much things to it.
Exactly.
For sure.
Here I've written down that there's a couple of different types of cross-cultural relationships, and there's international, interracial, interfaith.
Yep.
There's quite a fair few different. So it's not just culture, it's religion, it's beliefs, customs, all that sort of stuff. It all really mingles together.
Yeah, because you could be like, for us as a Filipino, mainly we're like Roman Catholics.
Yep.
But there has been like Muslims and all the other religions, and you can say, I'm Filipino, but in faith it's different. So
yeah, definitely. Completely understand that.
Yep.
I was baptized Roman Catholic like my mother. Yeah. But my father wasn't.
Okay.
My biological father wasn't, so they were different types of Christianity.
Yep. And it's different. You'd think it's similar, but it's not.
It's not.
Not at all. Yeah.
They are vastly different. Like Christianity, there's so many different faiths when it comes to Christianity.
Correct.
But they can vary and be very different to one another.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Oh, when we get deeper into me, like I'll share that, how that is on my story, I should say.
I don't know what I've done over here.
Oop, she broke it. It's okay. While you do that, I guess I can start. But mainly what we just said, for me and the kid's dad, when we both met, we're both Christian.
Actually, before we get into that, maybe we should tell the audience a bit about our own personal lives.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's
because
do
you
it.
have a couple of kids.
I do.
You have a few. You've got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple. Yeah. I do have 3 children, and so it's a different dynamic. And like for myself, I am Filipino. Grew up in the lovely US of A, and then I moved here to Australia. So a lot of cross-cultural changes in my life.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And where did you meet your children's father?
In the USA. I don't know why I said it like that. In the USA.
In the US of A.
Yeah, in the States. So we were both really young. And when you're young, that's always the fun part. But yeah, we met, and then we had our first child when we were there. And then about 5 years in, we, as any people, or as you grow up, you want to do something different. And there was growth, and coming here was a good change for us. So we definitely, and then we moved here. So this is where we are and staying. And I actually just got my citizenship. So I am officially an Aussie.
Yay.
I don't have the accent though, so I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You got the g'day down?
Yeah. G'day, mate. Yeah, I do. But yeah, so that is a little bit about me. And I guess I own my own business, work from home. So I think that's something that we're related to, because I know you work from home as well and you have your own business.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess and then this podcast for itself, I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I wanted to make it an impactful, not just people listening to me yappity yap. And that's why when we started talking about this, I was like, oh, I love it. Like what the voices you wanted to share, your voice as well that you wanted to share. Yeah. So that is like my entrance to for us to be here. And how about yourself? Tell us a little bit. I know, you've grew up in Australia. So
Yeah. So I was born in South America. I was born in Chile, and then we migrated here.
Yep.
But I've grown up in Australia.
Yeah.
Hence why I sound so goddamn Aussie. Don't have a Chilean accent at all.
They're really, I guess if you're listening, because obviously they can't see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're only listening on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're probably like, oh, look, some American girl and some Aussie lady. What's going on over here? Like, where'd
And
you
then
guys?
they tune into YouTube and go, that is not what I expected.
Yeah, exactly. I have this raspy voice like Mariah Carey. No, just kidding. That's what I like to think. But yeah, no, a little bit. What else? Where did you? I guess it's more of like your path in coming into like where we're here now.
Yeah. So I have been with my partner for 13 years.
Yep.
Married for 6 of those 13 years.
Yep.
Hopefully, knock on wood, we've got many more to come.
You say that? Yes. I'm knocking in there. Just kidding. Yeah.
I've got no children. We are child free, but we have 3 very little ones at home.
They're so cute. The one yesterday, he was sleeping. Just
my Pomeranian.
Yeah, he just passed out. I was like, hey, he's living life. Like,
Living life.
Yeah.
But yeah, my husband's really lucky because he's surrounded by all women at home.
That's right.
Because all 3 are female.
Oh, for some reason I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Learning
my,
all these new
my
things
2
right
dogs
now.
and my cat are all female as well. So he's so blessed.
Oh my goodness. He's gotten it all.
He's gotten it all.
Yeah.
Hey, every man dreams being surrounded by women. Why
In
not?
different
Or every
ways.
straight man, I should say.
Yes, that's true. That's like another topic. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, yeah, it's nice that we got. Thank you for that. Like that we got.
And
to
my
do
husband
it.
is Greek.
Yes.
So I did not marry my own culture.
Yes.
I did marry outside of my culture, outside of my religion.
Yes, same.
And
Oh no, not my religion. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, my family was very welcoming of him and his culture, his religion.
I love it. Yeah.
I was not.
Oh, I
So
don't
that's
love
to
it.
come in another episode. But we will be talking a little bit about how difficult it is to actually take on somebody else's culture and really immerse yourself in it.
Yeah.
And have that understanding. That is that person's culture and you should embrace it. Don't force somebody to remove themselves from their own culture, beliefs, all that sort of stuff.
Correct. Yeah. And then I think that's why I was like, I guess this is a gateway to what I was saying earlier was when, no, I don't think I introduced. So my children's father, he's an islander. So he is a Tongan, but we're both Christian. So yeah. So if we, like when we met, say, oh, I'm Christian, I'm Christian, totally different Christians.
Yeah.
Because his culture really impacts a lot of his faith. So vice versa, like across paths. So when we met, even when we first met, it's funny, my grandma kept saying, I was like, oh no, he's Tongan. She's like, no, he's Hawaiian. I was like, Grandma, it's 2 different things. There's different. I know they all probably look alike. And I was like, she goes, no, those are the ones. But when we entered it, I was like, okay, I'm Christian, you're Christian. And I took him to our church and he was like, whoa. Because it was more, in his eyes was more open. Like we could go to church like in shorts and a shirt. Like in their church, like you have to be like everything ironed, everything pristine, everything just to
like
the T.
Suit.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, suit and tie.
Yeah. I would say suit, but it's more of like they wear their stuff. Yeah. So yeah, they iron things.
It's the full. I understand what you mean. It's like the full outfit. You have to be pristine.
Correct.
Dry cleaned.
Yeah, correct.
Clothing.
Correct. Like, but I can roll up to church like this in shorts and a shirt and like my hair up and whatever. It was totally different. So as we've gone through our relationship, it was pretty okay because it was like he did his thing. Because I've gone to the Tongan church and I was like, oh, because they looked at me like, you can't really wear that or that. And it was never like, you cannot, but it was like, hey. And of course, you're going to be respectful. In my case, I wasn't going to just show up and whatever. But yeah, so that was another thing. I think our faith was fine but I think until we had kids, that's when it shifted, because it was like, how do we start blending that in together?
Yeah.
So that's what made it a little bit shaky.
That's actually really interesting. Now that you say that, it's not because I don't have children.
Yeah.
It's not something that I've thought about. It's like we, as a married couple or as a couple in general, we show respect to each other, but we've never had to have the conversation about what do we want our children to believe in? Yeah. How do we want to raise them?
Yeah.
Because he's Orthodox and I'm not.
And Orthodox is strict.
Parenting is strict, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know about the religion itself because I have met a lot of people that are Orthodox that are very open.
Okay.
But I've also met some that are very close-minded. And I put that down to the individual, not the religion.
Yes, that is very true.
I don't say that it's the religion that closes them. It is them.
Yeah.
It is the human being that has taken that in and gone, nope, I'm going to be narrow-minded. This is my belief. And if you don't believe in that, then you don't belong in my life.
Oh, my goodness. That's so true. That is super true. Like, again, I guess it goes to that. Like, we're both quote-unquote Christian, but there's things that some people would have been like, oh, we don't do that. And there's some that are like, hey, you do what you do. That because you are an adult, you get to choose how you run your faith.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how did you two blend your beliefs, religion, so that your children...
We're actually only finding our feet now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's something that's taken time.
Yeah, because I grew up also Catholic, like super Roman Catholic. So and not only, I think like middle school, that my grandma moved us to more of a Christian lifestyle. I don't even know what to explain it, because that was also more of it was a born-again Christian church, but it was a Filipino church. So it was like a lot, incorporated.
Was it English speaking?
Yeah. But it was still like things are still incorporated with our culture. It wasn't just so. How are we handling it now? I think because with everything we've been through, he's more open. For a really long time, he was like, no, we can't do that, or that doesn't do that, or you can't say those things. Because I grew up where it was like, because I grew up with my grandma and my grandpa, so it was different. Skipped the generation, obviously, with my parents too, but like they were very strict in a lot of ways. So with my kids, I wanted to be open. I want them to know. Like this morning, we had a conversation, and my son was like, "What's the P word?" And I'm not going to say it on here and I was telling him. He goes, so when people call you the P word, is it a bad thing? And I tried to explain to him and that stuff.
It took me a hot minute to know what the P word was.
And like for him, for a very long time, he would like not my son.
How old is your son again?
He's 7.
Okay, yeah. Even funnier.
Yeah, because they're older. And before, he would have shut that down real quick. He would have been, we don't talk about that. Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, shoot, he'd better learn it from me than his other 7-year-old friend. Yeah. That will be saying to him, oh, this is what it means. So he's going to come walking around thinking that, and in his thing, he's like, oh, we don't talk about those things. And again, I don't know if that's religion or if that's his culture, but to me, that was the same thing growing up. Like, we don't talk about those things because that's just no. But to me, I want to be open with that. I want them to ask me. And I tell them all the time, I was like, I'd rather you ask me than you asking somebody else. Because imagine what the other 7-year-old would be telling him.
And is that how your parents were with you?
No, not at all.
No. Okay.
It's just for my own. And I think that's why it took him a while to be okay with that. Because to him, he was like, no, we don't talk about that. Like, we don't say those things. Or even like cussing. We had this thing for a long time. It's called a cussing circle.
I love my cursey words.
Yeah. And so in that...
As you've noticed.
Yeah. In that 10 minutes, I let the kids cuss because then they can get their frustration out. Yeah. And he just thought it was crazy. And I'm like, dude, like they got to get it out somewhere. Because for me, why I'm such an angry bird now, because I was always like, compress your feelings.
Hold it in.
Yeah, hold it in.
Women can press that stuff all the way down.
Correct.
That's what we've always been taught.
Yeah.
You keep your mouth shut.
And you just walk
on.
You
hold it in. You suppress it until you no longer feel it.
Yeah.
But guess what? That doesn't exist.
Yeah. And I think that's
we just get angry.
Yeah. And that's when I was able to like do my own thing and I just popped, I was just such an angry bird. And I think again, because because I think culturally that's how it was. And again, like I'm not knocking for anybody because everybody as I grow up, everybody's just trying their best. Unless you are intentionally trying to be a bad person or Brad, whatever. But I think for him, it took him a while. And again, we're both quote unquote Christian. We're both open to these things. And his, like because of my culture, not that I'm trying to get away from the culture, I'm just trying to get away from the suppressing. I'm trying to get away from that because I do tell my kids how it is to being a Filipino. I took them there for a couple months and I let them smell and feel how it is to be Filipino.
Take them back to the ghetto.
I don't want to say ghetto, but yes, a little bit. Taking them back to where they had to take cold showers. No running water in the toilet. Like they had to do the whole like tabo thing that we call it. The bugs and the heat and the like
village style living.
Yeah, and they had to do. They had no choice. And so I'm not opposed to those things, but again, it's that thing. So I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like when we had to merge into what we have with our kids, it was quite difficult. There's still things that I'm like, oh no, but I think we are now actually trying our best to put it, because I think he's finally seeing what I'm saying. Like I was like, I'm not telling the kids to be bad. I'm not telling the kids to say bad words, but wouldn't you rather them come to us than ask another 7-year-old what the P word is? And now he's getting it, because before he would have been like, don't say that.
I think that's a really important point, because your children actually know that they can come to you.
Yes, and that's what
I grew up in a generation where we hid everything.
Same, exactly.
The stricter the parent was, the better we got at keeping secrets, at hiding things.
Yeah.
So
tell us one thing you've done in secrecy. I'm just kidding. But don't you get creative?
I am taking those to the grave.
No, just kidding. But it made you creative, I bet.
It really did.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah. I guess that's a positive part. Yeah.
I always say the stricter the upbringing, the less you're going to know about your children.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We don't trust our parents.
Yes.
That's the problem. I love my family.
Of course. Yeah.
But I couldn't grow up talking to my mum.
Yeah, correct.
It's not something, now that I'm older, I can have, better conversations with her, but it wasn't something that I wasn't like, oh my God, my mom's my best friend. Let me go tell her and, solve all my life problems. Where I'm seeing now, the younger generation is actually quite closer to their family.
Yes.
They're quite closer to their parents. They actually rely on their parents a lot more.
Yeah. Good and bad thing. No, just kidding. Yeah.
But I think it's that trust.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
I see a lot of my friends and their kids, and they have such a beautiful relationship where their children are actually coming to them for advice.
Yeah.
I didn't. My generation didn't. We were running in the opposite direction from our parents.
Yeah.
We would talk to anybody but our parents.
Yes, and that's what I did not want. Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that, because even now, do you feel, actually, I guess this is something I should ask you, do you feel like when you did meet your partner, when you finally was like, oh my gosh, there's something outside of what I've known, how did you feel about that? Because again, he probably grew up, I'm sure he grew up differently. Like, how did you feel about that? Like, more openness? Like, do you think that's helped you guys be more open to each other?
I think we've always we came into this relationship just being open and understanding.
Oh, I love that.
Like I cannot recall a single conversation where it's been like, oh no, you can't do that, or you can't believe in that, or we have to do this, or we have to do that.
Yeah.
It's always just been very accepting. Yeah. Okay, Christmas, for example.
Yep.
He had to transition from just celebrating on the 25th to now celebrating the 24th.
Yeah.
Because my family gets together on the 24th.
Same.
And we celebrate. You technically are supposed to wait for midnight.
Yeah,
then
correct.
Santa comes. You open your presents.
Did you do Santa when you were young?
Yes, we did.
Dang. Okay.
It was always one of my uncles.
Aww.
It was all the uncles would take turns, or an older male cousin, something like that. They would all take turns, and they dress up as Santa. And I think they still do.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love that.
I'm a lot older, and I moved away, so I don't really get to have those big family Christmases. But I grew up in a really big family. I have so many cousins that our Christmas traditions were huge.
Yeah.
And now, for example, everyone has their own nuclear families.
Yeah.
So we don't do things for example, my grandmother had 9 children.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's not everyone brings their families together anymore. Everyone does their own individual thing.
Yeah.
My family did the same thing. We go and see my mum, my stepdad, my sister, her husband, the kids, that sort of stuff. That's how we celebrate.
Yeah.
But he had to really transition to, okay, the 24th is not a quiet day anymore.
Yeah. Things are happening.
Things are happening. It's quite hectic. It's quite busy. We're traveling to Wollongong.
Yeah.
doing the family thing on the 24th, and that was something that he had to adjust to.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Do you think that because of how he grown up, he's more willing to be open because he felt, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak on both of you, but do you feel like because it was so close that now as an adult, you do have the choice to do things differently?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Oh, I think, love that.
But that's what I mean. It's like we've always been that way. It's just, we've always said it's just me and him against the world.
Oh, I love that so much. I love it. I love it. But yeah, no, and I think that's a good thing because for myself, as we go deeper into different conversations and partners and all that stuff, it's such a good thing to have that as a mind. Because I think last time we talked about it too, it's like when you get married, because again, you guys are two different cultures, two different religion, when you get married, you become your family, you and him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like for you guys that really blended in? I guess you guys have been together for a long time, but once it's solidified and married, like we're blended in and blood by blood together. Do you feel like family was like, yes, he's my family?
I felt that way. Mm-hmm. My husband and I, in the very beginning, the first year was that honeymoon period.
Yeah.
Then we started having some dramas.
Yeah.
Not with each other though.
Yeah.
It was that I wasn't necessarily accepted by his family anymore. Because I don't know if maybe in their mind they thought that it was just a fling.
Yeah.
But I was the first person that he ever brought home.
Oh.
He had never introduced anybody to his family before.
Oh, nice.
So for him, I was the one from the beginning.
Yeah. I love that.
And then it wasn't till when we had those dramas and he fought for me. And when, you know what? No, I'm not going to
ditch her,
be single for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do what perhaps other people in his family did.
Yeah.
He's actually learned from their mistakes.
That's good. Yeah.
So when it came to our relationship,
it
really was him and I from the very beginning. So even before we got married, him and I really had to form this united front of it's me and you against everyone.
Do you feel, I'm just going to put a twist on it because I love this, do you feel like, yes, if probably, because again, once we get deeper, we'll go down to our stories and deeper knowing about the in-laws and stuff, because that's an episode we'll talk about, but do you feel like, yes, it sucks that you went through that, but are you glad because on the other side of it, yes, you guys were already solid. Do you think it's nice that on the other side of all that drama made you more set, you set your foundation real strong?
Yeah, because now there is absolutely nothing that we cannot overcome.
Oh,
that is actually what we went through was the epitome. Like I know people that have gone through less that couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I love that.
And considering what him and I went through very early on.
Yeah.
And it was more, instead of separating, we latched onto each other.
Oh, I love that so much. No, and I love that.
And it was like, now it's us.
Yeah, against us.
We are the nuclear family. We put each other first no matter what. And then everyone else comes second.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even know. I love that. Only because for me, growing up, I've always felt like I didn't have I have family. Like you said, you have a big family. It's not like you were ever alone. You were never, I'm sure, I think because we've talked a little bit about our culture, I'm pretty sure family party, somebody's always there. So you need something, every weekend had a thing. You were never alone. But I think once I truly felt like as I got older, when you find someone, and this is any Filipino that's listening to this, we watch the most happiest movies ever. So it's always, oh my God, it's going to be So when you find that person, I've always thought that if and when I ever find that person, it's you'll know. And if any shit that you go through, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, no, I love that. I really love that. And then again, because, you had that, I guess, the cultural thing, that difference, all these things against you, but you still came out on the other side. That's so awesome. I love that a lot.
Yeah, it was a case of we got to know each other as individuals. We put everything else aside because everything else was just a bonus.
Yeah.
You're learning about food, culture. Yeah. I had to learn about name days.
Oh,
that was the whole thing. I'd never heard about it before until we started dating.
Yeah.
But I had learned to embrace everything when it comes to his God. Now I cook more Greek food than what I do Chilean.
That's so funny because you enjoy it. You enjoy the food. You like it.
It's a case of, one, I enjoy it, but he enjoys it. But if I can make it for him, because he doesn't have that liberty of just going over to his mum's house anymore and being fed.
Yeah.
I want him to keep all these things about his culture and actually keep them alive, not lose them just because we're together.
Yeah. No, I love that. Look, I think it's what a lot of people in different, I guess you would say, like we were saying, I mean, the cross-cultural relationship, that's what people find. There's, oh my gosh, it's not just about you also, it's because your culture is who you are, and because they love you for who you are and they love you for that, you really embrace it. Yeah, and it's such an amazing feeling. But no, I love that. There's like nothing, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can just see me, like, I'm excited.
She's got hearts in her eyes.
Yeah, heart emoji. But no, honestly, sorry. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can hear it, but you can see it. But no, that's true. And I think that is exactly what we're talking about in this episode, how you navigated that. Again, once we talk a little depth of the things that you guys have been through in other episodes, just the fact that you come out of it on the other side freaking stronger, like that just freaking says everything about your relationship. That's what I truly feel like.
Yeah. Considering so many people said that you'll be divorced in a year.
Yeah.
Here we are 13 years later.
Hello, everybody. Hope probably some people are listening.
Well,
we are still together. Just kidding. Yeah. No, it's true.
But it's just one of those things that you can wish anything you want upon people.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because they're not in it. They don't see it. That's the difference. You might see a little portion and have your verdict into somebody's relationship, but you have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea what's actually going on behind closed doors, or how my husband and I are, God, the banter between us is unreal. And so many people have said to me, it's, oh my God, if I spoke to my wife like that, or if she spoke to me like that, we'd probably be getting a divorce.
Yeah.
So we're not being serious. We're just making fun of each other. We're keeping it lighthearted. You have to. Especially
because you guys you know each other more than anybody, I feel like.
Exactly.
So it's like for you to say those things, like you do get it. I guess.
Yeah. We're not abusing each other. We're just having fun, making, he'll make light of something that I'm wearing. It's just.
But it's your
banter.
dynamic. Yeah. And it's your dynamic.
Exactly.
And I think people forget that because it's for myself. As you can see, I love to joke. I'm very sarcastic. Like
me too.
Yeah. So it's just like you're
natural.
Yeah. You
it
get it.
Or naturally comes out.
Thank you.
I have zero filter. It comes in here. It comes out here. Yeah. Just happens.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when you say it, and then I think that's another thing, like finding someone that understands that it has nothing to do against you. Especially when things it's funky or like difficult situations, I make jokes out of it because I'm trying to find my lighthearted because I'm getting stressed. But like, yet to find someone to understand that. Jesus Lord, no, I'm just kidding. But I think that's what it is. You know? So I love that. I truly love that.
One thing that I've actually put a stop on though when it comes to my relationship is him learning Spanish.
Why? Why not? Hola.
No, when I talk about him, I need another language to talk about him in. I can't have him understanding.
I love that. That is such a gateway to like a next little thing in blended to this. How? Oh my gosh! Yeah, tell us, please. I think.
Well, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I've not learned, I only know the naughty words in Greek.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he knows he also knows the naughty words in Spanish.
Yeah.
Sometimes he confuses them a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's quite entertaining for me.
You're like, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, right.
And he's saying something backwards that has no meaning. Or I've taught him, for example, all right, so South America.
Yeah.
Every country has their own dialect of Spanish. And they use unique swear words, let's say.
Okay.
Chileans have a special kind of swearing.
Ooh, okay.
So I've taught him some of that mean nothing to the other Spanish-speaking countries.
Poor guy. He's like, oh no, yeah.
So if he has said it to somebody, for example, from Argentina or Uruguayan or Colombian, or they're like, what?
They're like, I think so, maybe.
What? And then...
Oh my God, I get that.
the only ones that understand are the ones that hang around with other Chileans.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
they've heard those words before.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it would be the same across the world where it's like, different dialects.
Yeah.
Some words could have different meanings, things like that.
Yeah, depending where you're from.
So I've had a lot of fun with that over the years.
Oh my goodness.
I've been able to teach him things and then him go back, repeat them to somebody and somebody go, what?
What? The head tilt the
What?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so
What's happening?
funny.
Why would you, what?
Yeah, no, that's so funny that you said that. No, but I get that. Because
Are your kids bilingual?
They know some words. I wish I did. I wish, but no. Oh, they only know some words, which I feel like sometimes is a good thing and a bad thing. But especially it sucked when we went to the Philippines because everybody was like, why don't they know? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't take the time to do it. But it's funny that you said that they don't know what they're saying. Because for me and my family, they'll come and we talk and all that stuff. And there's some things that I'm just like, oh, whatever I said. And nobody knows around me or in my house. And then, so it's easier. It's a good thing and a bad thing, I think. But yeah, that it is a perk for sure, though. It's definitely a perk, like you're not knowing what's going on. So
Yeah. Was there any sort of traditions that you had to learn?
Oof, yeah. So back and forth for us. So like for us, I told you. Oh, you saw it on my story. We celebrate Christmas a little bit early. We start September.
Yeah, I saw your Christmas tree go up and my eyes almost popped out of my head like a cartoon character.
You're like, what are you doing? Yes. So
because in my life, the tree does not go up before my birthday. It does not go up before my birthday.
Yeah.
It can go up the day after, but
yeah.
not before.
Yeah. Now ours came in. And the thing is, I've always wanted to do that, but we never had an actual Christmas tree. So when we got one, I was like, yeah, September. Last year we didn't do it, but that was whatever. But I love it like that because the kids sees it all the time. Like if they let me, like I'd put light and like we have this thing called parol. It's like a light thing. It's a star. I'd put all of that everywhere or just in front of the house or outside the balcony. But calm it down, hey now. But yeah, so those tradition things that it took him a second. He was like, why? We're we didn't. I don't think they did Santa. I don't know if they did or did not. So we didn't really do Santa. Only my little cousins, but not us.
Yeah.
Because I only learned about Santa when I came to America. And I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Really?
Yeah. I did not know about Santa.
So what do Filipinos believe in?
Eating. You just eat. Yeah, because I came into when I was...
so it's just like family time, basically.
Correct,
it's not
now
Santa
it's more,
or anything like that.
Now it's more open to the Philippines. People talk about it more. But
is it still a churchy thing? Like you go to church, like it's very religious sort of day.
Yeah,
it's like Jesus' birthday. That's what you're actually celebrating, not the Santa Christmas.
No. So it's called Simbang Gabi. So it's like the day, Christmas. That's why we do Christmas Eve as well. Our parties are the 24th, everything. Yeah. Because by midnight we go to church. So it's like ringing in Christmas or his birthday. So I came in and then we didn't have chimneys in the Philippines. I was like, what the hell is that? So no, we didn't do that. But
we got taught that Santa had a skeleton key and he could actually just get in the front door of any house. Get the crap out of me at some point.
No, it's funny because then when I moved to America, we didn't have a chimney. Like we didn't have a fireplace. They had a heater. So I remember, I'll never forget.
Santa just appears out of the
I'll
heater.
never forget.
That just reminds me of a scene from The Ring.
Yeah. Oh my
She's
God.
coming out of the TV.
Because thinking about it now, I remember I was like, so how is he going to get it? Talking to all my friends, like, how do they do that? They're like, he just comes in. And I was like, I don't know where this guy's coming out of this little heater, but I was like, okay.
He just comes.
I was like, okay. But so those little things that I think, again, I just want to make this clear. Now with our kids, we try to blend things together. There's things that I would love to have and make sure that they're not going to forget, like the Christmas, like celebrating Christmas early. I don't want them to forget that. And I think for him as well, there's some things that he shares with them. He has his own view on sharing the kids' stuff for the tradition, but their culture has a lot of traditions. We definitely have, there's things that he wants to share them, some things that he shares with them, but we don't have to do that. I think, I don't know, again, that's his story to tell, but for us, we're just blending it through whatever we can have. My daughter, she's graduating primary school, she's going to high school, it makes me scared. For her graduation, I'm going to bring out their mats. I think I'm going to get like the 20-footer. So it's a 20-foot mat. We put it out. And I want to get her like a traditional dress. They have all these lays and stuff. I want to incorporate those things because that's the rich culture.
Mat,
yeah.
Like a floor mat?
Yeah, but they're like thousands of dollars mats because they're like handmade. I'll show you. Some of them are like woven together. Some of them are
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to look at some pictures.
Yeah, so I'm going to have her put that up. It's going to be very, because to me, she's obviously my first baby, but like, to me, those are things I want to incorporate. Even if he's like, oh, I was like, come on, we'll do that. He's like, oh, no. And I was like, well, you know what? That's part of her. I'm going to make sure. Because I want them to learn that. I want them to understand there's things that you take in with your culture, things that you don't have to either.
It's the introduction to it.
Yeah,
It's up to them what they want to do as they grow up and they get into adulthood, but it's good to introduce them to it.
Yeah, yeah. Especially I feel like the core of things. And it really makes you, to me, again, I'm willing to be open and stuff like that. I think it just makes them feel like they're part of something.
Yeah.
That's who they are I don't want to say internally because that's their own people, but who they are like as a back. I don't know how to explain it actually, to be quite honest. But I don't want them to not know these things. Like, I want to introduce it to them, like you said, but and let them choose as they go. Because even with faith, like I feel like if I'm going to share with them, I could only share with them as what I can share with them. And then as they grow up, it's honestly up to them where it's going to go.
Yeah. Like for me, for the longest time, I actually didn't think that children should believe in a religion. I think that they should learn all of them and then make the decisions when they're ready to.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, I was like, you know what? No, like, why are you shoving it down somebody's throat?
Yeah.
Why are you forcing them to believe everything that you want to believe in?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in my generation that are atheist for a reason because it was shoved down our throats. Like, I'm not part of any religion anymore.
Yeah.
Are
you sure that they're I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm open to all religion.
Yeah.
Even when we got here, I was like, we should do a prayer.
I didn't even know we need to do that. But
it's like, because I am open to it. Like, I'm very spiritual. I believe in everything. I don't think that there's just one.
Okay.
That's another reason why I'm a little bit more accepting. Like, I've had a lot of different relationships in my years where came from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different religions. So I learnt a lot of that through exes and things like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't a culture shock for me.
Yeah, correct.
There were things that I had to get used to, but nothing's been like, oh my God, what? Not like that. It's very, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. I'm really very open to it all.
For me, my share on it is that I just want to share with them because we actually have moved to different churches ever since we came here.
Oh,
because
really?
Because it was never like I had to really find a place where we were all comfortable, because I want them to, because the same thing. Like I had to go to my grandma's church. This is the right thing. Which again, I don't think she intentionally wanted to just. That's the only thing. But I think because she believed in it so much, she wanted us to, which I respect on that end. But for me, again, it's that thing where it's like that was shoved down my throat. I don't want that to do it with the kids.
Yeah.
And I think with their dad, he was just like, oh, you guys can't say it. And I told him, I said, wait, this is what I'm trying to say. Let's share it with them, what we know, and then in the end, it's going to be up to them. But I feel like if we did what we're supposed to do, they will stay where we're sharing with them. If not,
right there, exactly, that.
If not, then I don't know. It's just like I feel like I can't make them do it.
No.
Because that's what I had to do.
You have to give them the tools.
Yes, correct.
You give them all the tools.
I love that. There you go. Give them the tools. Yeah.
And hope that you've done your job well enough that they want to stick around and continue doing what you started.
Yeah, because that's why again, goes back to why I want to be open with the kids. Because I tell them all the time, Mom is not perfect. I was like, I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to see that Mom fucked up. I want you to see that Mom has these things, and I want you to see the turnaround of it. Yeah. Because for a very long time, I felt like I had to be perfect. Because if I'm not perfect, then the kids are not going to like me. But we're actually closer now. Because I'm like not to say free for all, but I'm more open to being like, let's talk about it. Like this morning, the P word. I was like, I was shocked when he asked me. I was like, thank God he did those things. Yeah.
Do you also find that pressure also comes from being a woman?
Oh, for sure.
Because I found, for example, growing up, my male cousins could do whatever they wanted and not get in trouble or not get in as much trouble if they got themselves dirty, for example. It was okay because boys will be boys.
Yes.
And they should be roughhousing and they should be. Yeah. But God forbid.
Marjorie, why is your dress?
Some, like one of the girls got dirty or something else. Like there was a kind of a double standard.
Yeah. But that is in culture. Because same with my grandma. Oh, sorry. delete that. But even for my grandma, she I don't know if my family's going to this or not, but she did favor the boys over the girls. And it was not hidden. It was not hidden at all. And it did suck because I am the eldest girl in my crew or my circle. So a lot of things that were like, hey, why didn't you do that? You should know that. Da, da, da. Oh, God forbid I didn't become a nurse. Jesus. Like it was like, but those are the things I think culturally, like they felt like same thing. Again, I don't think they did it intentionally, but we came to this country to make something better, bigger. Please make us proud. Which I think that was the heart of it, but it definitely did not come out like that. It was more like you have to, or else you're failing in life. So
yeah. Like I cannot tell you, and this is one of my pet peeves now as an adult. I can't tell you how often as a child I heard the saying, "Little girls are to be seen, not heard."
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
That is embedded in my head.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I think is why I am so loud. So vibrant, so outgoing, because
you were suppressed for so long.
I don't even think suppressed, but I hated hearing that.
Yeah,
I hated hearing little girls are to be seen, not heard.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And my blood, like even just saying it now, the inside of me, my blood is boiling.
Yeah.
Because I cannot say how it was just on a regular basis. And meanwhile, if I was to confront the people that used to say it to me, I never said that. I would never say that.
The cameras
maybe you wouldn't say that now because you've had daughters.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. No,
so now you see it differently.
Yeah.
But you used to say it a lot.
Yeah.
And you used to say it to me.
Yeah. And I think, again, the biggest out of all of it and saying all these things, that's what it is, right? Like your culture, things that you came into. And now that when you're in a relationship, you're more open to the different cultures because you know that there's more, like, again, because of social media, because of the internet, that there is more opportunity. There's more ways that you can do your own thing.
Yeah.
And taking what you can from your roots, your culture, but really just actually creating something that works. Because, again, times have changed. Yes. And we have to understand that from when, let's just say, from the first day of when the world started to now, people also had to pivot. People also had to navigate. People had to adapt and do all that stuff they had to do, what's going on now in the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think, our generation is a lot more respectful.
Yeah, in certain ways.
It's like we just respect a lot more. And the next generation is exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm finding that each generation that comes around is more open-minded, more respectful, all that sort of stuff. There's not as many barriers.
One little thing. Only because I feel like here in Australia, they're more open to outside world. They're very open to the cultural change, like the cultural blending. I see in some areas in America, that's not it. They're a little bit still closed-minded because I feel like they stay within their own. And I guess that's a whole nother episode. But
that's actually really interesting because one thing that I was having this conversation with a friend a little while ago, and I thought it was really interesting that I find here in Australia, people that have migrated to Australia hold on to their culture, their traditions, and their own belief systems for dear life, and they can't stray from that. But back in their countries, they have moved on. They've moved forward. They've continued to move forward, but the people that migrated here, that's when they moved, that's the mindset that they moved with, and they can't move forward from that.
I have totally different feeling. I feel like people here are more open.
I feel the next generations that are born here that don't listen to their parents are more open-minded.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
But, for example, there's going to be stories that we're going to say in this podcast.
Yeah.
And I can tell you some stories where I know a lot of people where it's, no, you cannot be with this person because they're not our culture, they're not our religion, they're not this, they're not that. They don't believe in what we believe in. Yeah. They're not even the same skin color as you.
Yeah. Do you think it's more of like the first generation? Because I know, it's not my story to tell, but I know like when my grandma, when one of my aunts like married outside of the race, it wasn't an easy transition as well.
Yeah.
But when I'm married into a different tradition, she was more worried about the faith. But then when she found out that the kid's dad's was Christian, it was more open to it. So maybe it could be that, because for me now, if my children, if any of them were like, I'm going to marry someone that's from, I don't know, Wagga Wagga. No, I'm just kidding.
Wagga Wagga.
I love
You
that.
mean saying Wagga Wagga?
Oh yeah, sorry. sorry. I'm an Australian citizen. I should know better. Wagga Wagga. No, but
Miss America.
But if they, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm more open to that, you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
think it's more of like the first generation that came here. That what is it that they have? Because even in my family, the perception that if you marry, oh my gosh, 'cause I'm not saying everyone in my family, just again, a disclaimer, but if you say, oh, I'm going to marry someone that's, let's say, African American, oh my gosh, they're like, da-da. Or if you're going to marry someone that's Mexican, oh my gosh, da. But I think that it's depending on the generation, who came in, because again, I think in fairness, they did come to a different country to try to quote unquote be better, but they don't want to. I think maybe, again, I don't know the story in your story, but, and I'm not speaking on just one person, but they get scared that if anybody goes outside of that they're going to lose
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's just
That's
my
what I've been
intention.
told.
Yeah.
That it's if we don't hold on to it, if we don't do it, then we're going to lose it, and our kids won't do it.
Yeah, but then it's close-minded.
But then they don't realize that their children don't want to do it because they were pushed into it so much.
Oh my God, I know.
And I have these conversations where people are forced to have to do these things because their parents force them to do it.
Yeah.
Not because they want to do it.
Yeah.
Not because they enjoy it. Give people the option and hope that they go for that option.
That's what I would like to do
force
for my
it
kids.
upon them.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is what I love what
because-
you're doing with your kids.
Yeah, because like for me, I think even me entering their space, I was told by not everybody, it's not like everybody said, but like I've been told more than once that because I wasn't their culture, definitely was not the first choice. I was definitely, they were shocked. Because A, I'm Asian. B, I got hella tattoos. And when in my Facebook had a lot of things that they were like, that is not what you do. I had pictures of drinking and like all these things. Again, I was really young, but those are the things. And it wasn't, to me, I didn't care. But I think that's what it is. Because again, I think it's which generation that comes in. But yeah. So do you think that we've crossed all the things we would like, or we probably crossed more than, or?
I think we've crossed more than, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, correct. But yeah, no, I think this is a good lead way to all of us, because this really sets a foundation that we are going to be talking about topics that a lot of people may not feel is appropriate to speak on.
Yeah.
Or feel, but we have so much, and I know people that I've spoken to that relate to what you and I have gone through.
Yeah.
It might not be in detail too.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not tit for tat.
Yeah.
It's not identical. It's not, but very similar sort of circumstances.
And the emotion and the struggle and the feeling of acceptance.
Yeah.
I think that's very similar to relatable, because that's what ultimately you love that person.
Yeah.
You want them to understand. You want them to feel like you even said earlier. You cook great food because he loves it. That's your part. Of course, you want him to be happy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. Because at the same time, it sucks because sometimes again outsiders just get in the way. But it's you. It's supposed to be you, your partner, against the world. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I think that's about it for this episode. That wraps it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And if you guys are enjoying this episode already, there's going to be more to come. Please
Don't forget to share, subscribe.
and just all of it, everything else in between. Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Bye. And that wraps up another episode of the Relatable Bitches Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our chat today and found something that's resonated with you.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more relatable bitches like you.
And remember, you can connect with us on social media. All links are in the description.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep it real and stay relatable.